liberty shall not be lost. Knowing my name may be of and mighty be in joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we shout the freedom of our rights united. Glorious liberty by God's command. Glorious liberty by God's command. Strong success, assuredly and with all of our sing with hearts and hands, our country goes defending beneath the foe. With battle returning, long and liberty by God's command. Liberty by
It's Killer Beats.
On the beats.
Any miss surprise of me. Then I will see me. Then I will see you. Then I will hear me. Then I will hear you. Let me for the end. For the end. Let me for the end. For the end. Then I will see me. Then I will see you. Then I will hear me. Then I will hear you. Then it for the end. For the end. Then it for the end. For the end. They play a living, they more than before. They play a working set, they more than before. The fool are eating power, they more than before. The car driving, they more than before. So let it for the end. For the end. Let it for the end. For the end. Let it for the end. For the end. They more for the end. Don't want me go up there. You want jet, you want for. Every day like me, yo. Every day they talking about me, yo. They won't see you down. They don't want you fly. They want you da da da. But they put you kara kara, kara kitty kitty kara goro goro goro. Every day like me, yo. Every day they talking about me, yo. Big dresses to flare. Oh yeah, we play like one will go ahead. Thank God you not go, you not go. Then I will see me, then I will see you, then I will hear me, then I will hear you.
All right, Yes, that's the man. I just said that they don't want to see you, they don't want to hear you. They will deal with it. Happening now to right here in the East Coast is 12:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your beautiful Thursday afternoon with us from my end, depending where you are. It is a beautiful evening in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. And we are here to going to be talking to one of the veterans in this business. Very young, very articulate, but the passion is so much there. Let's start the ball rolling. Oh, let's get the ball going. But in the first place, let us bring in teamity here. If you know you are monitoring news about East African brother, Tanzania president, the guy considered as a bulldozer, give life away to yesterday at the age of 61, according to major news cable network. He's been out of the country. Being ill. So our prayers and thought goes out to the people of Tanzania. Dr. John Tamuka Foley, he's a chemist, very renowned reformist in Africa. So may his soul rest in peace. But let's see here. Let's get this conversation here going. Much now, time is taken away. Let's see this here.
And another day to actually put some modalities in place. Today is the 13th day of the month, January 2021. We are not in 2020, we are in 2021. So God be the glory. Great things he has done.
To God be the glories. Let's get the ball rolling here. Ambassador Angel Malimant Morris is a political commentator, host of Strong FM, straight to the point. Is joining me this afternoon or evening from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia, Mama Liberia. Ambassador, welcome on LPR. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sir. Good afternoon or good morning.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. I know when you are behind your microphone, first of all, I want to say thank you for accepting this invite. And I monitor you extensively in Liberia, talking on things that I believe in. So this is not a neutral ground, except you are outside of your own comfort zone, but that is okay. And I'm quite sure you're going to do an extraordinary job. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Intro is one of my handicap in this business here because I hate to leave pieces of puzzles out. So set the stage for me. Let my viewers know who is Ambassador Angel Malimant Morris, correct?
Sure.
Okay, let's get the ball rolling.
Okay. Firstly, I want to say thank you very much, for looking up to me to be a part of your broadcast today. My name is Angel Malimant Morris, and one must say, how come you are an ambassador? We never had President we appointed you to any country or so. So I am actually a Sustainable Development Goals Ambassador. I got certificated as a Sustainable Development Goals Ambassador when I actually attended a conference at a Sierra Leone Parliament, a Sustainable Development Goals Conference, wherein after that conference, every young leader should actually be able to go out there in their various countries and, implement some work. And after then, you will be certificated an ambassador, so that everywhere you go, people will know that you are also one of the preachers of the Sustainable Development Goals. So this is how I got the name Ambassador Angel Malimant Morris. So I am a Liberian journalist. I'm allowed?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I am a Liberian journalist, and I have actually practiced for a while now. I started with an organization where we used to talk about teenage pregnancy and all that. So there's various radio stations. We use Radio 5. I remember once upon a time we used to go to ELWA radio. We also used to go to Light Television. And that was how my passion for journalism started to grow. And then I thought to myself, I think journalism is actually a career for me. And I actually got some level of encouragement from my grandmother because I was reared by my grandmother. So I decided after high school to go and do journalism. That was how I got a first diploma in journalism, and I also got another diploma in journalism, so which actually interprets a degree in journalism. Well, I'm also studying journalism at the Atlantic International University, where Martin Colley says it's actually a false online university. But we don't pay heed to that political fallacy. And I am also, doing political science because I believe that I'm a political person and I need to forward my political life one way or the other. I'm also doing political science at the level of the United Methodist University. So I've actually been able to get a lot of certificates in journalism, in public speaking, in youthful, the youthful community. So I have traveled a lot. So the experience is just there.
Whew. You see, what I ask you to introduce yourself because I don't think I had a capacity to have gone through all of that in-depth introduction to what, Madam Ambassador.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I didn't say all though.
I know
Let me
because
talk about my positions now that I'm currently holding in the country and all that. So
go on.
currently, I'm the lead presenter of the program Straight to the Point on Strong FM 98.3. I'm also the vice chair for administration for all of the reporters reporting at the Ministry of Information, Culture,
Information.
Affairs and Policy. I am also the vice chair for administration for all of the Sustainable Development Goals organizations in Liberia because you know the SDGs, right? There are a lot of organizations that are working in line with the SDGs. So we are there cheering, working along with them, guiding them, which one of the goals we should firstly embark on, which one of the goals is actually right for Liberia and all that. So there are a lot of things I'm doing around here, but that is just basically small, like in
Believe me, we're going to go in depth as we go along this conversation here. Wow. Are you taking, do they still have Logo Z Energy Plus in Liberia?
Um, I
I-
can
I'm
really say,
wondering because I'm wondering where you are pouring all of this strength to get involved in these multitudes of roles. So I'm asking
oh
whether you're taking
really?
extra energy plus to get you going.
I just have that extra, strength and all that. I was born like this. I'm so much energized. I'm a versatile person. So
Okay.
that is just it.
Okay, so again, Madam Ambassador, thank you so much for honoring our invitations. The goodness of Liberia Public Radio, I think there is a need that we pay close attention to the young generations of the country because they are the future of the country, and not just only the elite, these politicians, Capitol Hill, executive mansions, state corporations, and all of that. We have to go down there. So our microphone is unlimited. As long as you have a contribution tied to your nation, there's a way that we tap into your expertise. Is on the basis of that, we decided to reach out, knowing what you are doing to your engagement here. But let's get the ball rolling here. There is a tendency, there is a beginning of everything. Something might have spurred you to get into the profession of being a journalist. What was that?
Well, I have always believed that journalism is actually the
Do you have
calling.
a device? Do you have a device on there?
Yeah, actually offered, right?
Yeah, if you no, not from your audio, no. But I mean if you're listening to something else because I was getting the feedback. But it's okay, let's go ahead.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
I think it's my background. This is Liberia. I'm currently an
No, that's all
officer,
right. Let's go ahead. I think the audio is good.
so working.
Mhm.
So as I was saying, I always have this belief that journalism is not a profession. Journalism is a calling. So you and I will understand that coming into the profession journalism, you coming there with this word we use usually passion, passion, passion. So what actually geared me to becoming a journalist? So I said to myself, what is it I'm really, really good at? I say I'm good in talking, but being a good talker doesn't qualify you to be a very good journalist. So looking at my charismas and all of my characteristics, I said, let me try because, coming up as a kid, I have always been around the radio. I started being on the radio by the age of 9 years old when I was yet in Sierra Leone. So I have actually been around the radio for a while. So I said to myself, I think I can make this my life. But then this is the genesis of making journalism my life. At a particular stage of my life, I said to myself, I think journalism is not just enough. Journalism is not just enough for me. I need to find something else. How do I become very unique in journalism? Because everybody is a journalist, but there is something specifically that people should know you for. So I started reading news, yes, and then I started producing and presenting a educational program. So an educational program for me. So I said to myself, let me try to go into politics. Even though I got intimidated before going into politics, once upon a time there was this former minister of information who made me feel so awful. He even called a press conference just on me because I said something about the current minister of education, which he actually saw as something very bad. He said I was providing distorted information to the general public. By then, I was just running a simple educational program on Super FM. So this minister made me to feel less of myself, and then he decided to intimidate me and all that. He even threatened to actually put the radio off by then, Super FM. He said he will actually use his power to make Super FM to be a non-existent radio station.
And that was a government official doing that.
That was the Minister of Information doing that. He intimidated me to a very, very high extent. You know, my colleagues, journalists interviewed me all around and all that. But one thing I tell people about life is that every government position you have or you are occupying, it doesn't mean it is eternal. There is a time limit. And currently he has been sacked and fired by the president. So you see, he did that to me. He just, you know, he woke up the lion in me, and that was the day I walked to the manager. And
let me stop you there. We also on an obligation for the audience to follow what we are doing, and maybe to critique us as well. Was there any violations in your profession when that happened before the minister attacked you? Was there any violation?
Like if I violated,
what are you what are you violated? What are you crossed the boundary as well?
Oh no, there was this topic I was discussing at the level of the Ministry of Education, and I used the word Ansusoni is allegedly corrupt. Because even in journalism, you can say alleged. Okay.
Right.
So according to this guy, I should even use the word corrupt. But the thing these people forget to understand is that even the Code of Ethics for Liberian journalists, it says that this is my job. I should protect the people from being misled. So if there is a corrupt act that is going on at the Ministry of Education, I can speak about it because I'm a fearless journalist. So he blew that into proportion because by then I was kind of very small and all that. So he used that against me. He even violated me, you know. He made me feel so bad. He even called a press conference just on me, even though it was bad, but I saw it as a promotion. So that was how I started talking politics. I say, if somebody can just call a press conference on me for this matter, I think when I talk politics,
that was a testing point at that time, getting into the field, and perhaps more worse one who have come along the way.
It has come already. It seems that, you know, life is not something that is without challenges.
Wow. Okay, that's quite interesting. So, your program is what, straight to the point, right?
Straight to the point. Sure.
How that name was generated?
Well, when the radio station was actually opened, there were a lot of programs that were drafted, and this is how this other program got drafted to be the afternoon presentation. So in the morning we have the strong morning conversation, and in the afternoon we have the program straight to the point, meaning we talk the issues straight to the point.
Wow, that's quite interesting. Okay, folks, just bear with me. I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully we're going to get her back. We're going to get her back here. Let me see. Let me just get her off here, and hopefully she's going to join us there. She's a female journalist, not just only a journalist, political talk show host on one of Liberia's premier network, Strong FM. Angeline Malitma Morris is joining me here to bear with us. The internet service in Liberia, these are some of the challenges that we are facing. Okay, she's back with us here. Let's see here. Okay, so good that you are back. The folks they understand that Liberia, third world country. So okay, straight to the point. And I was just asking, you are a female journalist, and I know you note Liberia as a third world country. It is a challenge. The few women should always be behind. Like brother men say, they must be to the tail. Must always be a servant. They don't want them allowed to be at the head of the table, and you step in the gap to be hosting a political talk show, to be a political commentator. Do you take into consideration the risk and what you are really getting into, Ambassador? You want to check your microphone? I'm not hearing you. Check your microphone. No, not yet. I'm still check. Look at your check your microphone, I believe, or either the Bluetooth. Okay, well, folks, just bear with us. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Do us a favor if you can just share this link with all of your friends and family members. We all must give people the chance to exhibit, to show their talents. We need to start preparing the young generations of Liberia, and that's what we are geared to do. Hopefully, let me see. Are you there, Ambassador?
Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me
Yeah,
now?
yeah, much better. Thank you. Okay,
Okay.
I'm not sure whether you heard my question, but I was just asking whether involving in deep politics and by hosting a
How
political
has it
talk.
been as a female, yes, being among the
Yes.
politicians, talking
Mhm.
politics and all that? So, as I was saying, it is actually hard to admit because not just Liberia, but this is the mentality of the world itself. The world thinks, or the society thinks that females are lesser and they are down in everything, so they cannot just stand out. But one thing I tell people is that I'm not a supporter of this analogy, gender equality, because I believe that as a female, you should fight for equality. You should fight for yourself. And how do you go about fighting for yourself? You should create a space fighting for yourself. But we have many people today saying they are fighting for gender equality, but they are not doing things that the men are doing. You getting me right? You getting my point right?
Like crap.
So you can't say you want to fight for gender equality and you're not going where the men are going, not doing the things the men are doing. You just want to be seated and the world will give you gender equality. It's not possible. It's not possible. So I said to myself, what can I uniquely do as a woman that I will be able to be very unique and astonished? That was how I got into politics. It has actually not been easy. Sexual harassment, you know, disrespect because they feel that even if you are a female, you are very eloquent and all that, they will disrespect you so that you'll feel less of yourself and you will understand that you are a female and you need to position yourself where female should be. So I tell people, I never allow people to make me feel bad or less of myself. So even working in a male dominated environment, God has always helped me to dominate. If I am not domitable, I will be at the decision making table. This is just one thing about me. So if females can actually get out, go there, go in the space where the men are, I think there will be no need for us preaching about gender equality because we are as well doing what they are doing. So there have been a lot of challenges, sexual harassment, and when I traveled recently, I got to understand that you can never stop sexual harassment. You can only stop your response. Because even if I am a hijabi if I am actually covered, there will still be some men that will actually harass me. I cannot stop that because there's something that is literally existing in the entire world. But I can actually regulate my response. I can regulate my response. So there are a lot of girls, they don't want men to harass them, but their outfit, their verbal approach, telling the person that you are encouraging whatever they are coming to with you, I think you can actually regulate your response.
Wow, that's quite interesting. Ooh, okay. So I follow your program most of the time. You are very forceful, and we're going to be it without. I don't want to cross the boundary if I'm going there. I know you are a shy shooter like myself. Just pour me here, but we are also on an obligation to get it all out there to our audience here. Let me play this, and I want you to listen and I want to talk about it.
You see this man in this picture. His name is Julius Selu Malema, CIC of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Today, I celebrate my mentor, my coach, and my inspiration. You know, Julius Malema has actually inspired me greatly. He has inspired me so much. Because in Africa, people believe that women cannot be revolutionary women. And in spite of our gender, they believe that we will always be trampled upon and the voices of the men will always be above our voices. So I said to myself, how can I uniquely be a woman that will be able to lay impact? Regardless of my profession, journalism, I have been able to follow the footstep of Julius Selu Malema, and I can bet Liberians that I will change the dynamics of politics in this country.
Are you there?
Yes,
Are
I'm
you
there.
okay? Is that person look like you? Is that you? That video? Am I correct?
That's actually me, though.
Okay.
That's actually
Julia.
me.
So if I were to make it educated guess, you believes in his philosophy. Is that where you get that middle name from, or what? Are you wearing the same rare burial that he's wearing? Are you a revolutionary?
Of course, I'm a revolutionary. Even on my profile, you read the first thing you see there is revolutionary. I'm a revolutionary.
Revolutionary. How long you intend to go on to fight being a revolutionary? There are other folks that are listening out there. Revolutionary, the connotations of the word, other people will have different interpretations of it. But what could be the simplest definition of the word imply on yourself as a revolutionary? Why? Because other people, when they hear, let me just put it this way: other people hear revolution. Oh, don't tell me that guys, you one can't take gun now. I'm not sure that in that context that you are going, but how to change the dynamics of the history, how to empower people and stuff like that. That's what. But I don't want to let it out yet. What's the simplest definitions of your revolutionary?
You know, many a times when you check into the various dictionaries, you understand that a revolutionary is one who supports a political party strongly. You getting me right? That
Mhm.
person is actually strongly supporting a political party. But then if you read about the history of a revolutionary, you get to understand that this is a political consistent person. The main word here is consistency. It's not about being a political figure, but being a consistent political figure. So as a revolutionary, you even die in the battle. You die at the battlefront.
You put your life on the
You are
line.
you are supporting somebody, you are supporting an ideology, you are supporting a political party, you are supporting a political decision to die at the battlefront. Now, a revolutionary is not somebody that when they are not in government, they will say the government is bad. The government is actually practicing nepotism, and the government is actually practicing fallacy. But when that revolutionary gets into that place of the government, the person changes. We don't call these people revolutionaries. We call these people political opportunists. We call them arrivals. So, as a revolutionary, this is something I'm going to carry for the rest of my life because I tell people we are going to change the dynamics of politics in Liberia. Right now, we might be seated on the various microphones. Journalism, we are doing it. I believe everybody is a journalist. Even the one in the market there, one way or the other, she passes on information through gossip to her friend. She is a journalist. The act of disseminating an information is journalism. So I'm a journalist today, but tomorrow I'm going to be a very assumed political figure. And one thing I tell people is that man by himself is a political animal. So there is no way that you can actually extract yourself from being a political person. So this is it. The simplest definition of revolutionary is a consistent advocate.
Consistent advocate. Do you I have followed most of your shows and you talk to a lot of people. Do you receive an anonymous call, for example, after your programs and say, hey, you are going above your speed limit? Has that happened to you?
Of course. Remember, I was actually with Reach Radio Africa. You know Mr. Gale, right?
Yeah, Ashford, yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Gale called me the fearless angel because everybody that comes around me believes that I'm actually fearless. And this is just it. I have received many calls on many occasions, especially from people in the States, advising me to be very careful. And one way or the other, there have actually been an attack on my life before. If you can see, if my hands were actually exposed, you were going to see a very big scar on my hand. I had an accident before, and that accident was actually manipulated. Okay? So right now, I cannot throw fingers or I cannot throw jabs at a political person or a particular political figure that they did that to me intentionally. But all I can say is that I have been attacked. But we are doing what we are doing because God is with us and we will be consistent in our advocacy.
Well, folks, I'm Afonso Zensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Let me allow my guests to get a couple of drink. We are in it for the long haul, and I will be right back. Okay, let's see here. Let's get it going here. Good. All right. Ooh, let's get to it. I follow your page a lot, and things that you do. I wish I appreciate your fearlessness, bold questions, and all of that. You are a gladiator, right? You are a gladiator. What makes you a gladiator?
The same thing that makes me a revolutionary is the same thing that actually makes me a gladiator. So a gladiator is somebody who goes to the battlefield to fight. And a revolutionary is somebody who is actually consistent in their advocacy for change. So I am a gladiator, I am a fighter, and I will fight today, I will fight tomorrow, I will fight forever. Even if I leave this world, my name will be remembered as Mandela is actually remembered. My name is actually going to be remembered as Julius Malema is actually making his name today. So this is just it.
You seem to admire the work of the revolutionary actions of Julius Malema in South Africa of the EFF. I see you wearing the red barrel, correct? Is that from Julia, or is that something you got into Liberia to signify his work and the beliefs that you have adopted? Is that a case?
I'm not doing this to actually signify the work of Julius Malema. I'm doing this to identify myself. If you check in my closet, I have over 15 different colors of belts. So I don't wear this because of Julius Malema. I wear this because of my identity. I want people to recognize me as a revolutionary, not a makeup type. I'm not among the females that will make up themselves and say, oh, they want to go and stand on the poster to be representative and lawmakers. I believe that if you want to take over a political space, you need to be a revolutionary. You need to be consistent in your advocacy. So this is one of the ways I can actually recognize myself, and this is one of the ways people can actually identify me as a distinct female.
Okay, let's go to this yet, and I want you to listen, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Stay tuned. Let's listen to this.
Edition of the program, straight to the point, right here on Strong FM 98.3. And as a matter of fact, this is Liberia's #1 afternoon political presentation. Today is the 15th day of the month, January 2021. And the name is Angel Malema Morris. I'm very delighted to be here today. The best is actually yet to come. Today's edition of the program is actually well packaged. We're going to be talking real politics. And you know now, when a female gladiator is on your RADIO, what happens literally?
That was you right there in an interview with the Law Major of Monrovia, Major Jefferson Koji. And I monitored that, I listened to that. That was quite fascinating. We don't have much time to it. But you were very forceful to push in with the hope by demanding answers. And that's what a good journalist does. We are accountable to our viewers, to our listeners, not about ourselves, but we must demand answers. And that's very few. I hate to see some of our colleagues who do not ask questions, go to the substance of the questions, and some of their questions are, like Brother say, upside down questions. You have to be very thoughtful when you are asking questions. And I saw the major was at some point in time he got stuck because the questions that you were pushing. What was the reaction? Koji seems to be like a guy who people fear. Probably maybe through you, because I was in Monrovia. I asked for the interview. That did not happen. Maybe his schedule did not allow him to do that. How you managed to bring Jefferson Koji to your microphone?
I didn't beg him, right? Koji just called me on a Thursday. Angel, he called me on a Thursday. Angel, I want to be on your show tomorrow. I was like, you want to be on my show tomorrow? That's very impossible because I'm having Manisakai Dumoy from the COP. You know Dumoy, right?
Manipaka Dumoy, yeah, the AK-47 guy, right?
Who was sent to jail for 3 days because he posted on the social media about.
Right.
Yes. Then, so I wanted to actually have a conversation with Manisakai Dumoy. So Cody said, Angel, please, I need you to do this for me. I said, y'all that bluffing they come here. So you won't be on my show, no problem. I will talk to Dumoy. So surprisingly, the next day, it was not even 4 o'clock. It was around 3 o'clock. I just saw Koji at my studio. I was very surprised. So I was like, why is this guy so into this thing? But, you know, he has actually been hearing a lot about me. And I have a face-to-face conversation with him before. He said, Angel, that thing you so Delon, you will not do it with me. I said, what do you mean? He said, the way you choke Delon, I'll get you half time. I said, really? So that was how he wanted to prove a point, and that was how he came on the show that day. And every other person that listened and monitored that show, they saw how I drastically dealt with him with my questions and all that. He actually got very much confused because most of the things he was actually saying were actually fallacious. So that's just it.
Yeah, you can reference, especially when it came to the streets of Monrovia, how the street is, whatever it is. He couldn't answer. Like, wow. And I kind of like this is people that we need, because most of our folks, they go to show their microphone and not to put them down, but sometimes we have to say as it is, just how we hold politicians accountable. We ourselves must be held accountable, because the people out there, they see it different. And we need to distinguish what is a journalist in A and someone who is an entertainer, or someone who is maybe doing the popular relations or propaganda person. The journalist is a unique institution. It's a unique service by itself. And so when I listen to that, I say, okay, this is quite interesting. Okay, so we have to talk other things here. From all indications, from what I'm saying, I could make an educated guess. There is, after journalism, even though the microphone is there now because you try to get something out there to the people, there is another political career that you are working towards. Does that make sense? Are you working? Are you hoping to occupy some sort of political positions in government? Are you affiliating with any of these political parties in Liberia? Countless. You have the CPP4 collaboration. You have 11 call themselves Rainbow Coalition. You have the three ruling establishment. Where does the ambassador fall? Which of this group you fall in? Are you there? You hearing me? Is your microphone on?
I don't fall in those groups, Mrs. Yes, because I
Okay.
believe that all of these people are just birds of the same feathers flocked together. I don't know, your viewers might actually not want to accept this. Are you hearing me? I'm hearing you.
Well, yeah, we're hearing you loud and clear. Yeah,
Are
go
you
ahead.
getting me?
Yes, go ahead.
Are you
Yes.
hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Hello?
Yeah, Angel, are you hearing me? Yeah, I'm hearing
Are
you
you
loud and
hearing
clear.
me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Are you?
So I was saying, I don't know, your viewers might actually have a different side of the story, but this is just it. We are on the ground. Okay, let me proceed, okay? The collaborating political parties and that of the Coalition for Democratic Change, I don't see a difference. I do not see a difference. I classify them as the same people. I classify them as the same birds of the same feathers flocking together. Okay?
Mhm.
The Rainbow Alliance, the Independent Council of Patriots, the Original Council of Patriots, the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia are just all the same. All the same. So this is it. We need a new breed of leadership. New breed of leadership plus new breed of leaders. Because categorically, if we start to discuss the collaborating political parties and discuss the yesterday of the CPP and discuss the yesterday of the CDC, you and your viewers will understand where I am coming from. Yesterday, CDC was the most vibrant political party ever in the history of Liberia for advocacy. CDC protested more than any political party in this country, but today, the government of CDC is actually a complete mess. No better information dissemination there. Political parties,
Okay, let's see here.
why
Let
should
me.
I categorize?
All right, let me see. Folks, just bear with us. This is what Liberia is all about. Let me just get her off the screen, and hopefully she can. Okay, let me see here. I believe here. Okay, let's see. Mhm. Are you hearing us, Angie? Are you hearing me, Angel? Are you hearing me? Are you there? Okay, let me just.
Hello?
Yeah, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing.
You hear?
Yeah, what are we doing now?
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. I know there was a little bit breaking here.
I'm
Okay,
guessing
so
you. What
let's
are
look
we
at
doing
here.
now?
Yeah, you as a political talk show host, right? Let's look at the political landscape of Liberia. Is that something we can talk about? From what you know so far, you talk to them on a daily basis.
Yeah,
You
sure,
have
sir.
people calling
Sure.
in and all of that. And let us not leave these hangings on on our audience. And I quite agree with you. On Liberia Public Radio, we don't talk things what usually people want to hear. We tell them what they need to know. and that's how we can change the structure or the politics of Liberia. Let's start from those at the head table right now. The CDC, you said the CDC of yesterday and that of even they are the same. That is a little bit open in the air. Somebody might need more expansions of what you are saying. So can we dwell on that? Is the CDC government, do you think, are they not listening up to the task? Have they diverted their revolutionary cause in the past to what is happening now?
Mr. Zion, I was actually elaborating on my statement previously why I think and believe that all of those political institutions in this country are not ready and they're all the same. So why did we diverge? Or you want me to strategically talk about the CDC firstly?
Well, you make a choice where you want to start from. We have the four.
I
We
would
have
love
the.
to proceed.
Okay, go ahead.
This is what I'm saying, right? People might not want to accept it. But how has Alexander Cummings contributed to our daily politics? How has Joseph Newman Boyka contributed to our daily politics? Now, I'm naming you these people because these are the leaders of the collaborating political parties. And these are the people that Liberians are depending on for a better tomorrow. They see them as a better alternative for Liberia. But we do not see them as a better alternative because we see them as just the same. We see them as the CDC yesterday. Now, the difference between the opposition right now and CDC is because they are not there. Okay? Because they are not there. Because all of what they are doing today is what CDC did yesterday. And the moment they get there, they will do double. So it is actually very much psychologically troubling to actually see our politics deteriorating. And I bet you, if the CDC goes, I supported Derek Dillon in the just ended election. I tell people I'm a journalist, but I have a site. Because I'm a revolutionary, I look for somebody that is better than another person. I supported Dillon. He knows that. He knows how many votes we gave him as an institution, as an individual. But then if I can openly, assert that the CDC needs to do more work, then you should believe me that there is a lot more going on within the CDC. And I don't think the CDC will make a better alternative. CDC has already spoiled its name. CDC is considered to be non-existent for me. I don't think CDC as a political party exists anymore. And I don't think CDC as a government even exists anymore. George Weah is not even existing as president anymore. He is just sitting over there waiting for 2023 to vacate. So we need new breed of leaders. We need new breed of leadership. Now you said CDC yesterday and CDC today. Let me elaborate on that. During the Madam Salih's government, CDC used to protest about nepotism. And for those of you that are not familiar with the word nepotism, this is actually the act of favoring your family member or your close friend with a job when he or she is not qualified or competent enough for the position. Mm-hmm. So this is what Jefferson Koji wrote about Madam Salih. He said, Madam Salih's government is a dining table. It's a family dining table. I'm a very historical person. I believe in keeping records. You see? So this is what he wrote. You can even go on Google. You will see that article there. So today, is nepotism not happening in CDC? Answer my question. It is happening, right?
Can you make reference to a specific? Can you make reference, Ambassador? Can you make reference to what you are saying? Let us be a little bit concrete instead of being abstract. Yeah, we are on an obligation as well. Just how we hold people here to bring it. Mm-hmm.
Sure. I believe that you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that this government under the leadership of George Mane Weah Foketonjerate is actually practicing nepotism. You don't need a soothsayer. You actually don't need a soothsayer. If you are not a physician, you will not have any good in this government. And not just only that, this is actually destroying our democracy. It is actually making our professional people to become unprofessional. Because you see a man that they will make an assistant minister of information just because he wants to favor George Weah. This man will wear his red beret and take picture as his profile picture just to please George Weah. This man will make President Weah his profile picture. These people have forgotten that they are not working for President Weah. They are working for Liberia. Liberians are the ones who voted them. The electors are the ones who chose President Weah where he is today. You see? So you don't need a soothsayer. That's a very archaic scenario for seditions because nepotism is actually being practiced on a daily basis. On a daily basis.
Now, you so okay.
Don't support President Weah. You are an underminer. You see what happened with the issue of Madam Jemima Wolokoli? How they sidelined her? A practical example of nepotism. That woman lost her job as the, I think, Deputy Minister of Agriculture, at Commerce. Also lost her position within the CDC. You know why? Because she decided to correct the wrongs of CDC. So tell me, is this not nepotism? You put her there because she was a physician. Now you had the right to move her there because she's a physician and she was telling you people the truth. So you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that President Weah has failed the Liberian people. You don't.
Okay, so you made a point here that even the CDC, the oppositions, they all are the same. And I believe that, and I've said this over and over, even as the opposition, and that's the saddest thing about us Liberians, they hate to be told the truth. They have people who all over here throwing the red meat, the kitchen sink, the innuendos and makeup stuff as if they are the alternative to the crisis in Liberia. We know the problem, but our deliberate action to even address the problem from bottom to top is lacking. You supported.
Before you come in with your second question, let me just throw a bit something on that. Why is the opposition like the same as CDC? You know, sometimes I feel like crying when I realize how much Liberians are being misled and how much Liberians are being fooled. To be very honest with you.
By whom?
Yes, you actually been following the workings of these political leaders within the opposition, right? Will you agree with me that a June 7th protest was highly masterminded? The opposition political parties spent millions of United States dollars just to spoil the reputation of this government. And by then, this government was not even a year old.
Right.
Alexander Cummings has so much money. This man is a very, very rich man. Cummings is one of the millionaires of Africa. But right now, ask Alexander Cummings, how have you actually contributed to the economy? But this is the man who will be in the newspapers saying a lot of fallacious things about our economy. These people are only helping to spread the bad about this country, but they are not rendering solutions. That is the thing. Vice President Joseph Boyka, according to my record and according to Historicity, Ambassador Boyka has actually been in governance for about 40 years. Can he show anything? Can he show anything? Tell me. He literally
why you want him to show, for example?
I want him to show the same thing that they said we are show. He said to him show it too. Because an opposition is a government in waiting. It's a government in waiting. You can be keeping your money. You say we will be doing dollar rally for you. Then you're using your money on different purposes. It's sickening. It's sickening. You will have your investment. You know, Cummings has an investment in Ghana. He has his biggest investment in Ghana. Tell me about the investment that Cummings has in this country.
So let me tell you.
Let me ask you. That Ambassador Boyka has in this country, a part of his farm. I to please people. People might be giving some bad comments out there, but it's none of my business because I'm very true to myself, right? So that's it.
Okay, so are his people, his followers, are they aware of what we are talking about here today,
yes,
of his investment in Ghana? Are you hearing me?
His followers?
Yes. Like the ANC.
They are aware. Some of them are aware.
Mhm.
Me, let me tell you now today.
Mm.
I didn't vote for President We are 2017. I voted for Alexander Kumi. So if I can stand here today and tell you that this people or this particular man is not going in the right trajectory, you should understand that yes, I'm saying this void of sentiment. I'm saying this because I want him to be a better alternative. Okay?
Mm.
I want him to be a better alternative. So that is just it.
So
It's
then let me
bad.
just ask you, now you are on Irvit, you voted for what? ANC Alexander Cummings, correct? Is that what you heard? That what you said?
The platform was the greatest.
Mm.
But,
Knowing
you
what,
know,
can you
it
come
was
straight?
better. It was better.
So knowing what you
Mm-hmm.
know of
Go
them
ahead.
now, having huge investment in Ghana, for discussion purposes, if Cummings decide to contest again, will you repeat history? Will you vote for him again?
It's pathetic. Like I told you, it's pathetic. You know why it's pathetic?
Mm.
Not knowing who to choose is the problem. Not knowing who to choose is the problem. But one thing I tell people is that two persons might be bad, but one person is better. So I can never make mistake by voting for President Weah. You know why? Because
What?
President Weah has been tested and he has failed. Cummings has not yet been
Is it
tested.
okay? Let me just hold you right
Ambassador
there.
Boyka has not
Let me hold.
been tested, right?
Ambassador, let me hold you right there. You said, President, we have been tested and he failed. Is it fair to conclude in his first term of year to say that he has failed?
Of
Is it fair to say
course.
that?
That's an archaic scenario. That's an archaic analysis. Even a baby would
Mm.
tell you that I don't want President Weah as president because that baby mother is struggling to bring food into the house. But whereas Liberia is one of the richest countries in the world, but Liberia is an underdeveloped country. So when I talk about richest country, I'm not saying, as record. But we
Mm.
have things to make us the richest country. We have things here. But our leaders are political advisors, our leaders are political opportunists. So they sit down on our resources and they sit down on our investments. So you don't need a child to even tell you that President we have. So the examples are all there.
Okay. So who's the alternative?
The alternative is that this is what I would say. Everybody is messed up. But again, CPP is better off than CDC because CDC has been tested, but they have failed. Now, me saying CPP is better off doesn't mean Unity Party is inclusive because Unity Party has actually been tested. But Unity Party itself, the difference is not huge. Madam Sally did a great job, but I should be very honest with you today. I do not believe in the leadership of Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boyka. Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boyka could be a better advisor to politics in this country. He can be a better advisor to the CPP, looking at the amount of year he has actually spent in the governance system. But he cannot be a better alternative. I think the CPP needs to remove their eyes from Joseph Boyka. Politics is not about age. You saw what Joseph Boyka did for 40 years. A part of the 40 years, now political things are happening. When was the last time Joseph Boyka just sat down to himself and called for a press conference to talk about things? So tell me, when Ambassador Boyka gets to the presidency, you actually think he will dig out issues of corruption? When he was not doing it, while he was not president, you think he will do it? You think Joseph Boyka will actually not practice nepotism? He will practice nepotism because he's used to it. For 12 years, he was doing it. Another 6 years, he saw it and never talked about it. So please, my people, CPP could be a better alternative for not Joseph Boyka.
Not Joseph Boyka. Let's look at the political talk show host, and with your fearless actions to meet these political leaders as well. And there are some similarities there that we share here. Do you think the politics in Liberia or politicians are they structured institutions that I don't see? And I can say, let me put a little few laundry lists here together. Um, we had the National Democratic Party of Liberia of the late Samuel Doe, Helen Johnson Sirleaf Unity Party. Now, let's come to the recent George Weah Congress for Democratic Change, which is a ruling establishment. Are these people, are they building institution, or is it about themselves? Because Samuel Doda, NDPR is in common. NDPR is dead. Helen Johnson Sirleaf, one of, I can say, a career politician, did not do anything to build an institution by that to prepare a next generation after her presidency. Nothing like that happened. Unity Party is in turmoil. And I agree with you. Joseph Boyka needs to retire, but you have people who still say Joseph Boyka is experienced. It's just not it. We now have Dr. George Weah now. I yet to see a new future or new generation or new phase of the CDC after George Weah presidency, like they say, 12-year, 24-year, whatever it is. So the politics of Liberia is being cycled around individual. Am I going wrong here? Do we have institutions of politics in Liberia or just individual? They put their own investments, so anytime they get out, the party gone dead?
You know, that's a very salient question. There is no political institution in this country that is doing the Liberian people work. All of those political institutions in this country, they are just here to support their political beat and to satisfy their self-advancement. That's period. The CDC is another one. They are worshiping President Weah. And if President Weah doesn't win the 2023 election, CDC dies. This is the same thing that happened to Unity Party. They worshipped Madame Sirleaf. And after Madame Sirleaf left, deceptively, you saw what she did. She's a very deceitful woman. She betrayed the struggle. So this is what I tell you about being a revolutionary. A revolutionary never betrays the struggle, no matter what. Even if you see that your political party will not win, you will remain with your political party because you believe that you are a revolutionary and you need to be consistent in your advocacy. But Madame Sirleaf, she never supported Joseph Boyka. She thought that the CDC.
Do you think there was a deception? Do you think there was a deception?
Supported the CDC. One may say her support for the CDC was actually very political because she never wanted to be audited by the. It was a complete deception. I actually categorize that as wickedness. It is not even a deception, but wickedness. Somebody that was with you for quite 12 years, you see, she actually behaved very much wicked. And the day I will meet her personally, I will tell her, I love her so much. I love her spirit and all that.
Okay, well, folks, I'm Alfonso Z, and so my special guest here today is Ambassador Angel Malema Morris. Is a political talk show host at Strong FM in Liberia. Here is my guest talking on a wide range of issues. We will open the lines potentially here.
You say you're coming back to me.
We're coming there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't let the cat out of the bed. We're gonna talk about that. But I want to play something. You, as a political commentator and involved in the politics of Liberia, it's interesting that we're having this conversation. I want to play this, and so I will get your reaction. What was then and now? Let's listen to this. that was the jubilations. That how the seditions when were all Liberians electors following the announcements of the presidential run. You saw the then President-elect George. We are the sitting Vice President, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, and we were just talking about ladies how they've been. What happens? Is that still in place as far as you are concerned? I'm thousands of miles away. Is that coordinations in terms of their leadership? Is that still existing today in Liberia?
Firstly, let me highlight the scene you just exhibited. I even want to cry. I'm a very emotional person, though. You know why I want to cry? I want to cry because this is how the Liberian people thought about President Weah yesterday. They saw him as a liberator, and they actually saw CDC to be a political party that could actually liberate them from their abject poverty, from their educational deficits. They saw CDC with the connection of His Excellency Dr. George Weah to actually take this country to another level because of his connection internationally. And when you look at that video, he was actually crying. He was crying. VP Taylor was crying as well. So that should tell you that it is actually very much pathetic. It is even emotional to know that there were people who came to implement change, but then it all changed. Everything changed. Now to your question, am I seeing the same coordination and all that? One thing I can say is that the vice president, according to Article 56 of the Constitution of Liberia, you understand that a vice president works under the president. And everything more than that is undermining. You getting me right?
Yeah.
Anything more than that is undermining. So once upon a time, I always had this belief that Vice President Joy Howard Taylor is very silent. Vice President Joy Howard Taylor is very meek. She's not talking. She's not doing her work. But then I got to understand that she is actually going according to what the Constitution says. And one thing again is that we should blame the president because the president now sees this woman.
Mike, you want to lower your microphone?
He now
Hold on one
sees this
second.
woman, as somebody that is actually an ingrate. And I believe that it should be like that. Because you guys were in the struggle together. Together. It was Congress for Democratic Change, but now it is the Coalition for Democratic Change. So you should understand that you did not win on your own. You won because of teamwork. Period.
Okay. Okay, my colleagues, Mike Down is in studio in Monrovia at the Liberia Public Radio Studio, is also joining this talking point. Mike, good afternoon, good evening. Are you there? Mike Down. Mike, are you hearing me? Okay, just fix. Mike, are you hearing me now? Okay, while Mike is while he's working on his microphone, is that muted from my side? Okay, let me see. No, I didn't mute it. Mike, are you hearing me? You have to.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I think I was muted at first. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, much better. Okay, thank you. Welcome. We're in a conversation with strong.
Let me see. Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Yes, I'm hearing you. I think I was.
Okay, but you have a device that you need to lower it because I'm getting an echo here. Okay, thank you. Welcome. We're in a conversation with. There's something on there.
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Let me see here. Okay, let me go back to Angel, Ambassador Morris. Are you there? Ambassador, are you there? Are you hearing me? Angel, are you hearing me?
Yeah, just call me Malema. I love
Malema.
Malema.
You love the name Malema, right? Ambassador, are you there?
I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me as well?
Are you hearing me? Yeah. Mike, we have an issue with your audio there. Let me see here. Let me break you in yet. Malema, that's the name you prefer to be called, right?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna make you feel at home. I agree with that. Okay. Um. So here is the deal. Seeing what is unfolding now, it is quite amazing. I was in Liberia and I was privileged to sit with the vice president. That was very unusual. She occupies a high-profile political type position. But when I met her to have a conversation, I was told that was unable to, or was uncomfortable to talk politics, but I wanted to talk about her foundation's advisor, and she's told me that, and that was very much weird. Like, what's going on here? That I know for sure. There was some political tension in the making. Will this union last? Let me get your political take, and then we're going to be coming to your political ambition as well, because you seem
I,
to have
I,
interest in it. Will that union last, you think?
no. The union has already broken. That's an archaic something. The union has already broken. It is actually clear. Everybody now knows that the NPP will be on its own, will be either joining the collaborating political parties come the 2020 election. So what is actually
What I
happening right
Malina, where
now
are
is
you getting your what are you getting your information? Why do you think they would
I'm a
pivot in that direction?
journalist. I'm a journalist. Not that I'm only a journalist. I'm a political person. So I have a lot of sources. And this is something that you're just hearing, but it is all over the public space. That Vice President Joe Awatala is not going along with President Weah again. You can see that everything is not collaborating anymore. There is no coordination anymore. Nothing is going straightly. So you will understand that it is it is quite impossible.
It is quite impossible. Okay, well, you are on ground, so you are welcome with information
And you will
coming in. So,
believe.
so let's look at the future of Liberia. You have the four parties putting together on the bonnet of collaborations or collaborative party. You have 11 tie in on this bonnet of Rainbow Coalition. And we have one that is already been born of Dr. Cassette, is some sort of elaboration party of all of that. If these people, all of these people are seeking for political office, can these people come together? Can they condense themselves, come together as an institution? Do they have the capacity to do that? If they are to defeat the CDC-led government, do they have that capacity to goodwill and understanding of the plight of the Liberian people to do that? You think so?
Senator Delon posted something day before yesterday, and I took it into consideration. He said, it is already believed that the Liberian people are tied with the CDC government, but it is only a united collaboration that can actually take President Weah from power. Okay?
Mm.
One thing I believe is that it is not about the noise we make. It is about the numbers in the voting record. So the CPP needs to be united. The CPP needs to actually go from the idea of that I'm a person here, just about I'm gonna go. And the other one said I'm me, like coming. The other one said, yeah, we will find our own coalition. We'll put Yombly and Delon. They need to grow. They need to be united. And to be very honest with you, Papa, the People's Liberation Political Party is another party that has actually been added to the record of politicians in this country. And the Rainbow Alliance is also another alternative. But people are looking at the CPP right now. But if the CPP cannot put themselves together, if the CPP cannot remember that, yes, we need to put ourselves together. It is not about who is older. It is not about who has the experience in governance. It is about the work being done. I think the CPP will go far. But if they don't work on these things, President Weah might become a second-term president. Who knows?
What is your own political career? What are you looking forward? 2023, you seems to be in the vanguard. You seems to be very forceful in this. So talk to me here. Let us get straight to the point. What is your own political interest?
Well, man by himself is a political animal, and the thing about politics is just simple. When we are not there, we have all of the solutions. But the moment we get there, all of the solutions get missing. Remember that today. So I believe that journalism is not just my stopping point. Politics is for everybody, but not for anybody. But it's for everybody, not for anybody. So we have been engaged with the young people, and we understand the level of influence we have. This is why we are following the footsteps of consistent revolutionaries and consistent politicians. We are not following the footsteps of self motivated politicians. Politicians that will just care only about their 9 years or their 6 years or their 12 years. So, my political career, I don't think this is something that should be hidden, but I also believe that politics is about early preparation. So right now, it's actually true that I have a political ambition, but I need more preparation because the problem with most of our leaders is that they don't prepare. And when you don't prepare, you should actually prepare to fail. To also prepare, you should actually prepare to fail. So this is it. I want to prepare myself, even though there are a lot of people looking up to me for 2023 and all that. But I tell them I don't like to go into the race and lose. I like to go into the race tested, vibrant, and able to win. So that is just the reality.
What specifically are you preparing for?
Mr. Zian.
Are you hearing me?
What?
I said, what specifically are you preparing for? And I agree with you. Preparations is something that most of our people don't do. Okay, I think what specific is there any specific thing you are preparing for? Any specific political office that you are preparing for? Are you hearing me? Okay, let me see here. Let's see what we can get her off. And I see it. Folks, just bear with us. We will soon be to wrapping up here. Let's see here. Are you hearing me now? Okay, I soon we get a signal out there. We're going to be bringing out. Folks here, it's quite fascinating. And people are following what is unfolding in Liberia. And this is what we need to do. And this is why for us here at LPR, we also made our mind to take our microphone to the young generation. Let me see here what are you hearing me now? Okay, so let's take a break here. I'm Afonso Zian Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. If you have your, function, be it a convention or whatever you have, you want to advertise, just reach out with us here as well. And we have the ability to do that. Let's take a quick commercial break and I'll be right back. All right, there's Ambassador Angel Malima Morris. Let's see here. Let's get some of right here.
The revolutionary grid.
Let's see here. Let's see here.
Your political history. Of course, I don't want to basically know about the people that are listening to you. They got to know about your political history.
Well, basically, my history is consistent like the Northern Star. the beginning, I was joining here as a youth and student activist, and then when we got involved in international politics, we subscribed to the philosophical understanding of the Congress of Democratic Change. We grew up from the lower strata, began as a district youth chairperson, served as a auxiliary head person, and we grew up from one stage to another. Fortunately, on the basis of our engagement.
Okay, Malema, let me break you. He was looking nervous. The city mayor, I said the city mayor was looking nervous in our interview. I'm not sure what was going. You were you didn't make him comfortable.
I heard he couldn't sleep after that night.
Did you make him comfortable? You didn't serve him a glass of water?
Yes, I don't make people comfortable on my platform. My platform is not a movie cinema where I make you comfortable.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
You hear me, right?
Loud and clear. Okay, that's not a movie cinema. That's a good one. So
you know these are bad politicians. These are bad politicians, Mr. Zion. Are you getting me?
Loud and clear. Mm-hmm.
These are bad politicians. So I don't want to bring them, and make them feel fine. You are here to talk the issues. So if you are really honest to yourself, you will talk the real issues without phobia.
They ever ask you for questionnaires? What are you going to ask means maybe to sketch questions to send for them. Do they do that? Because I had a conversation.
They do that, but I always bypass protocol. So like I told them, always, or as I tell them always, we will be having a random political discussion. And be mindful whenever I tell you that we'll be having a random political discussion, you should just know that you are actually in the water.
Yeah, okay, because I mean, sometimes you call them the one specific question. I'm like, no, it's fair to give you an outline what you're going to talk about but to put myself on record, these are questions that I'm going to be asking. There will be a follow-up question, so we are obligated to the audience to also to keep them informed, to let them know what is going on. But I was asking you a question, and you pivoted here. Is there a specific political position Malema is preparing for?
What I'm saying is that the legislature is the first, so I cannot bypass the legislature to the Senate or even the executive. I need to start from the legislature.
The legislature. That's a signal to me. That's a signal. You are interested going on Capitol Hill, correct?
Perfect. And after that, with the level of work I would do, I'm sure I will go to the Senate, and from the Senate, I can now go to the executive if I still have energy.
I love that. I love that vision. And nobody should tell you.
If you're not be old, Mr. Zion, I might even make you my information minister. You might not be too old by then.
Oh my goodness!
Because I don't want Fagon to be my information minister. Fagon will be so.
You don't want facts versus fiction.
I don't want no fact versus fiction. I need fiction, right? However he posts it.
Talking about the information ministry, and this is where some of us would talk. We have a lot of good friends, some of them graduate and all of that. Even the press secretary, we went to the same school. But past government, they have been having issue with the level of communication. They are not, because when I look at some of these people, and you're quite correct, they behave like the opposition. The opposition, too, unfortunately, they do not have a good sense of direction. They have little people called Chihuahua who can just talk all over the place, but they do not even have coherent message. Because when I think about the late Carton Carpe, when I think about Moses Washington, all of those people, Lamini Warity, they are based at the Ministry of Information. You know exactly the message of the government, but they buy into little things. when his name said Henry Costa talk, Eugene Fagon wrong with it. When this other person talk, they wrong with it. They are unable to change the narrative. They are unable to define their own government agenda. So this is
And
just ridiculous.
Mr. Zion, let me just tell you something. Do you know that this government, President Weah, is actually failing, not just because of his failure, but there are a lot of people in this government that are undermining him. And one of that person could be Eugene Facon. This guy literally talks unnecessarily. You know, he doesn't even talk representing his position. Yesterday, Eugene Facon made a statement. He said, "Hey, y'all say the president will not let his tree, y'all go hawk transformer." Then again, you will hear the deputy information minister saying, "Y'all go kiss frog." All sort of things coming from a minister of information. So tell
Do
me,
you see yourself getting in trouble with these comments that you are making on LPRA in Liberia? Okay, we have an issue that Mike, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing loud and clear, Alfonso. I just been following the show and enjoying my little sister injured, and I've been following her for some time now. And you know, in Liberia, to differentiate between being a journalist and that of being a political commentator sometimes is difficult. However, to blend or two is also difficult. So I think this is one problem that she has been faced with for some time now. But however, some of our analysis, it tends to be a realistic one, uh, especially talks coming from some government officials here in Liberia. And one thing I wanted to also ask her on was this issue about saying that opposition leaders too are not fully ready to take the mantle of authority too. And she was also asking, for example, Cummins, what has been Cummins' own or contribution economically to the government development of Liberia. And so again, so I wanted to ask her if, for example, the awarding of scholarships to underprivileged students and other institutions aid that Cummins has been given, don't you also consider that India as somehow contributing towards towards the economic growth of the country?
Are you there? You got his question? My question?
I don't think she's hearing me. Angel, are you hearing me?
Has that been documented, or you are just saying that because
No, the thing is, we've heard about it and we've read it.
yeah,
Some of our colleagues, journalists, have
answer
written
the
about it.
question, which I'm currently doing. I'm saying, Mr. Mark Van.
I just find it a bit difficult to hear her.
Yeah.
Hearing you, and I am responding to you now. Are
Okay,
you listening?
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see.
I'm
Yeah,
hearing
go
you.
ahead. Yeah, I think the iPhone is end is kind of like getting frozen, so it's a little bit challenging. Go ahead. We hear. Are you hearing us? Oh boy, internet.
Yeah, I don't think she's
Yeah,
getting us. So what
went
I was
off
trying to
here.
say is that
Mhm.
if she does realize some of some
Do
contributions,
you
for
see that,
example.
Mike? Do you see that as a double standard on her part, or what?
Well, again, one may not be trusting her in some contexts, it's a double standard because one may not be seeing her as a professional journalist, while at the same time classifying her as a political commentator or as a quote unquote politician. So to differentiate between the two, it much difficult, especially still on the radio as a professional journalist, especially in our context in Africa. It's difficult for you to differentiate between the two. Whether sometimes on your radio, if you are asking someone, are you not portraying your own interest, or are you doing a professional piece of job? So it's again, it's a bit difficult thing to actually do as
Okay.
a journalist here, wherein you are
Oh. All right. So are you guys changing shift from
I'm
Maria? I think you are much audible
I'm on
now.
the line now. I'm on the line. I'm on the line.
Yeah.
Am I live?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, good audio, perfect audio. And now he's going there.
Mr.
Let me
Zion,
move.
Mr. Zion.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want Magdam to feel that I'm engaging into something very unprofessional. No. Your journalists that you're talking about, all of them have their sites. So if I can bluntly say that what you are telling me is not accurate, Cummings is not helping, Joseph Boyka is not helping, that is my opinion. That is my own opinion. So you can also go ahead and question all of the other journalists around here who are also asserting, but this is my own opinion. I'm saying that these people are doing well, but they are not doing more. They need to do more. I don't think it's a bad thing for me to say I don't believe that. So I don't think he needs to actually question my professional credibility. I don't think it's prudent because every journalist has their side, whether the public likes it or not.
All right, but I by your statement, but do you see? You said that he was not doing anything. Is that a correct statement that you made earlier? That he commented now comments that he was not doing anything, and on the basis
No,
of
I
that, was
didn't
just
say he was not doing anything. I said Cummings distributing scholarships. Is it actually something that has been recorded? One, is it documented? Number two, how many persons know about this? So if you cannot tell me how many persons that know about this, I can tell you that it needs to be questioned. It is
so
not that
yeah.
accurate.
Okay, so now I'm getting to the point. If he's giving scholarship, if he has people on scholarship who must be able to have access to the information, who are the beneficiary, how many are
Thank
they?
you.
And this
Thank
is
you.
what, and that's the problem with our people. They don't come forth. This is the talking point of their people. Kumi is doing this. Benana Euro doing this. Joseph Bakwa doing this. And when you ask them, they will tell you, say, go look for it. What the hell am I going to look? I'm not a chicken without hair to go all over. Tell me where to go find it. This is what we do. But you say you voted for Darius Dillon. We will soon be going out of time here. We hope to be having this conversation now and then, try to share notes and stuff. And he's part of the CPP. Comes 2023. Have you decided where your vote gonna go?
I haven't decided because I'm still looking at all of them.
Do you think, even though Darius Dillon would not be on the ticket, but one of the seats in Moserado County, the senatorial seat, will be on the line, the representative seat will be on the line. Do you still see yourself to pivot in the directions of the opposition?
Nothing is impossible, but if the opposition cannot put themselves together, I cannot tell you that I will go as an independent candidate, no, because I don't like that. But I think there are a lot of work the opposition needs to do. The day I will be running for any political seat in this country, I would actually love to run on a transparent ticket, void of biases, void
What
of,
is a transparent, Malema? What is a transparent ticket?
Transparent tickets, like a ticket that just doesn't preach, but also implements. And currently we are seeing that the opposition is just good in preaching, but they are not implementing. You see? One thing about the opposition, Mr. Zion, I want to say this before we conclude. They are not accessible. They are not accessible.
I thought I was the only person having this, because
No, you know,
when you
the
disagree with
people
them,
feel that the
when
people
you
feel that
disagree
they
with
are
them, they
already
label
there.
you.
You see, they feel they are already presidents and all that. And you need to talk to the people. How do you talk to people? It is through interaction with journalists and media practitioners. I bet you now you tell Kumi say you want for him to appear on your show, he will get you excuse. He'll tell you that he's going out of the country. But it is for his own good. It is for
Yeah.
his own good.
And let me just put that out. We're going to take maybe a few calls in the next 20 minutes or so. We'll wrap up. And that's quite true. And I don't have no secret. The owner, these politicians, Liberian politicians, they only need your service when they want it. And all of
Thank
them,
you.
there's no different from the CDC. The Darius Dillon, who was a
Uh-huh.
senator. When I remember, I went for my brother friend in Moravia, on the eve of the armed forces day, I was be coming back in the States. When I called Darius Dillon, can I have a sit-down interview with you? I said, okay, he was hot. All right. I said, well, I can't come over. I said, don't worry, just tell me where you are and I'm going to come. And I drove to Bannerville as his resident. And we sat there and we have over an hour. I went to ANC headquarters because Alexander Cumming was down there. Foreign policy advisors, one Perkins, could not even face our microphone. I went to CDC headquarters. They gave me rendezvous over and over. Moluba Molu, as a chairperson of the party, could not. This is so ridiculous. Let's take the few calls. So if you are not one of them, and I agree, they're just the same way. And I've said this before, there will be no different from the CDC. If you're not one of them, you will never be accommodated. They only go to either Yah show, CDC only go to Prince Sherry's show, they go dance. But they will not come where they want to be asked questions. And opposition, they come their own talking point people that they do not respect the views and opinions of other people. Yeah. So they're too going to be a bad government when they take place. Let me go to this line here from Minnesota, 612-703. Number caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ben and I'm calling from Minnesota. How are you?
Okay, Ben, what's up, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Thank you for joining us here. Go ahead. What do you have for my guest?
Well, I first of all, I want to say thanks to the sister in Steel. She did pretty well. This is my first time listening to her, and I would love to listen to her more. She's she has some stuff in her head. She knows what she's up to. Now, but yet my only problem here is that I have a little problem, and I don't know how she will address that with regards to the nomenclature that she is taking on. Is she not afraid that taking on a guy, with such a huge following? He has his name already, and you are a young lady coming up. Why would you want to bring up your own name? There are a lot of huge and tough Liberian names that we have. Why are we not promoting our own native names? Why is it this issue about this South Africanness? Are we trying to do away with? Why we can't do our own Liberian thing? Why? I mean, I just don't get it.
Okay.
There are huge traditional Liberian names. They might sound odd to us, but other people will actually embrace it. Why can't we? I mean, will she consider that?
Okay, hold on. Let me go to her. Malema, there you go.
Thank you to the brother, and that was a salient point, but it is already done.
Any regret?
No, I don't regret bearing the name Malema. With all respect, I told you I'm not wearing the beret neither because of Julius Malema, but I just want to be identified. If I was wearing it for him, I could have been a member of the EFF. But the EFF itself, I have problem with it. Like me, I get problem with everybody. So this is why the politicians down here say they get very troublesome. Everybody she got problem with. Of course.
Are you troublesome?
Even Julius Malema, I have problem with him. He's a racist, but he's my mentor. Okay? So this is the same thing. The name is Malema. It cannot be changed.
Okay. Are you there, Ben?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I mean, she's still young and she got more years to go. I hope she should not say it would not be changed. Let her speak as a politician and say we will look into it and see what can happen. When you into politics, you do not give definite answers, because when you give definite answers, it will come back and haunt you. So you
Okay.
always leave room there and say, "Hey,
Sure, I
we want to talk about it."
understand.
I mean, something could happen,
Okay.
because I have my own name for you. I mean, I have
All
my
right.
own crew name that probably I could give you. But well, think about it.
Okay. Thank you so much, my man.
Thank you, man.
All right. Okay. Let me go back to my guys here. Mike, are you there now?
Yes, I'm here.
Uh,
Our sincere apology again.
we
Even though we are on Liteco broadband, the fiber optic cable here from the studio, however, unfortunately, the line keep breaking in on and off, on and off.
Okay, no, that's all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
my photo say you're going here. Okay,
Yeah.
I know I don't want to keep her here. We have been here for a little much longer. But I think to be fair, you were trying to respond to Mike. He was not on. So is that something you want to carry on?
No, what I was saying is
Okay.
that
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Again, she's not coming through.
Okay, so I don't know what to hear from my brother. If you come on, I'm getting an echo right now. So I don't know what's the problem here. Well, folks, we're gonna be wrapping up. Let me see, so she can make her last comment before. Let me just get her off here and see whether she can come back on. Because once it's frozen like that. Okay, so thank you very much for correcting her caller. Okay, so Mike, what's the latest to date from Liberia?
Well, Monrovia is quite it's been a rainy day actually here in Monrovia. We are Pinsville, just a stone throw from Monrovia. But again, it's been a cool day. One may say a friendly weather indeed. It's been raining, but I think this is a climate change process that people usually talk about, because it was quite surprising today when lightning was striking as though we were in October. But again,
Wow.
that's a weather condition. Howbeit, people are here going about their normal businesses as usual, but there have been few other talking points. For example, people have been talking about the arson attack on the National Elections Commission headquarters in Cinco.
Okay, just hold on hold on 1 second. Let's go to her, but before I go back to Maliman, that's the name she preferred to be called. Let me go to this caller here from Pennsylvania here with 267 number 26735. Nana, are you there, caller?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what's your name?
Okay, my name is Cassius Massa.
Mr. Massa, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm calling from Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I am a Liberian. Grew up in Liberia, in America. I am American citizen.
My man, where the introduction of the occasion coming from the afternoon?
Well, because the way our people behave in Liberia, make me to feel proud to be an American citizen.
I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel so happy that I am an American citizen.
Okay.
Because it's just simple for me, like the lady that is on the line. Listening to her and then questioning the leaders in all of the political parties. She of somebody working in a government for 40 years, and he wanted to be president of Liberia, which of course she had problem with it, asking what have they done. When I followed the American election, Joe Biden, he worked within the American government for many years. And he decided to go for the presidency. He won a vice president. He went for it. And the people said that he had an experience for working at camp, and they decided to carry him. Other African countries have tried to go online, monitoring. They took the bad person age. They don't calculate the age. They look at what the person is going to do. Now, my question to that lady is she having problem with plumbing? She didn't do anything by whom, just about that work for 40 years. So who in Liberia that she know of that have worked for 30 years and is doing or have done something better than Joseph Boakai in plumbing? That she thinks that this person can serve that position.
Okay.
I think they need to leave that attitude of this person has worked for 40 years. But what are they coming with? And this is what I have problem with you guys who are the journalists.
Mhm.
I think you're creating a problem. You want the country to be changed. But if somebody is supporting comments, they get on the platform, they make Joseph Boakai look funny. And when other people go on the platform, they make comments to look funny. I mean, sometimes I just say, hey, thank you God for bringing me to America and making me an American citizen. All of my kids are American citizens. We don't need to focus on Liberia because I don't think Liberia is going to change. Man, we have to change Liberia. Liberia has fallen back. Liberia has fallen back since the Georgia government took over. Why do effort? So forget about Joseph Boakai age. Joseph Boakai could serve for just 4 years and somebody could take over. He coming with his experience. Kwame has worked out of the country for many years. He coming into the country, wherever that he has, or that he going to share it with.
Okay,
with
so make
with
it brief
people.
now before my guys, before they making a question remark. Okay.
So let me just close up with this. So if they're looking at Joseph Boakai and work for 40 years, they're not doing anything, then they should give power to Canada US. He worked for a shuttle town and he got a lot of achievement in Liberia, a lot of businesses. So they give the power to him. And they're looking for somebody that worked for a little years or did something in Liberia. Thank you guys. My point for today.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let me go to my guest before we wrap up. Do you want to respond to that, Malema, before your closing remarks?
Yeah, Mr. Zion, I was actually out because the internet right here. But what I gathered was actually a misinformation. I'm not using your platform to insinuate any political party against the other. But one thing I tell people is that our opinions will always not be the same, and people believe what they want to believe. I never said that Mr. Boyka is not appropriate because he has nothing to show. Neither did I say Mr. Boyka cannot go because he has worked in government for 40 years. That is just my political analysis and my opinion that Ambassador Boyka is not a better selection. That is just my own opinion. So I don't think it needs to be questioned. Everybody has their political opinions. The same way during the 2017 election, everybody thought that President Weah was a young person and he should be selected. Yes.
Okay.
I have a problem with Benana Ure a whole lot. But I have a problem with him as well. So all of them within the CBPB, they have scars on them. And I'm not figuring somebody to defend their character or whatever the case may be.
All right. And honestly, that's the challenge we are faced with, and to say this one and do this, because these people are so politically oriented and are so glued to their leaders. So any little thing, it goes under their skin, and sometimes they don't take second thought. But again, this is something that we used to. These people, they must be critiqued. We have to examine them. They are seeking, we have to examine them. No, there's no exception. All of them. Okay, but before I let you go, what's your final message? What's your final message to my viewers and those monitoring us? What's your final message?
Well,
oh my goodness.
On mute again with my hearing her.
Firstly, I want to say thank you very much for this conversation. It has actually been a very fruitful one.
Okay. All right. So, we're going to let Mike make a final statement before I wrap up. I'm going to be here for the second segment by 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our team of analysts. This is what we committed ourselves doing.
Yeah,
What
I
can you
mean
leave us with?
it's been a very much fantastic one, Alfonso. I tell you, like I was saying from the start of the discussion, you know, to differentiate between being a journalist and being a political analyst, sometimes it's quite difficult. But I be it, and the world now is moving at a different trajectory, wherein you can have a talk show host which that will have a particular side. Like the other day, one Morgan from Good Morning British, and he had a side, and that led to something else. But again, that those kind of scenario, it haven't really like bring our listeners, journalistically speaking, they haven't gravitated to those level wherein they will be having, I mean, a host will be having a particular side. And so, but again, injured, we wish you well in your sojourn, in your journalistic and political sojourn. As you know, Liberia is have made series of history. For example, our first president, our we were the first African country to have female as our leader. So again, any emerging leader, for that matter of fact, we give
Okay.
such people the credit so that they can fulfill their dream actually.
Okay, that's our own man, Mike Downs, in main studio outside of Morovia, Painesville. Mike, I want to thank you so much for joining this conversation here. And by the way,
Thank you.
our new editions of Crossfire starts on Saturday, this Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 4 o'clock Liberia. The first date official editions, I will be hosting Mr. Kenny Yabawulo Bez, one of the icons in this business. Kenny Bez is the founding CEO, founder of the one of the oldest news outlet in Liberia, the Daily Observer. So, Kenny
It's
Yabawulo
still the
Bez
audience.
is still
For
the
the matter of
oldest. Yeah.
fact, yeah, it's still the audience independent, the audience
News.
independent. But for
Yeah.
now, the audience is the new Liberia, but it's not independent.
It's not independent.
Of
Okay.
course, new Liberia, founded in
we-
1978, is funded by government, of course.
Yeah. All right. So Kenny Yabawulo Best going to be my guest this Saturday, right here on the Liberia Public Radio at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the first edition of Crossfire, right here on the Liberia Public Radio. I want to thank all of our folks and viewers, listeners for tuning in here this evening with us here. Join us at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for more quality programmings and information sharing. I'm not sure whether Angels is hearing us. Folks, we are so sorry. The internet in Liberia there is so much. Well, again, that's how we're going to draw the curtain down here this evening. Join our team of political analysts, contributor. They're going to be here to dissect. We're going to have a wide range of conversations, of course, as usual. Welcome to participate. Your views and opinions are always welcome right here on this network. Until then, I'm Alfonso Zienso, right here at the Liberia Public Radio, the New England Bureau Desk. It's 2:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for being part of today's conversation. Again, our prayers and thought goes out to the people, to the Republic of Tanzania, for the fallings of one of the funniest who consider as the bulldozer, John Tamokafoli, at the age of 61, gave life away. It was announced on State Broadcasting Corporation by the sitting Vice President that John Mokafoli has died. Our prayers and thought goes out to the people of Tanzania for the loss of this great man. Until then, we will be here again. Let me see here. Malina is here. I know there's a little bit interruption here in the network. We understand. So, so it is. So, was there something that you left out? You want to mention quick before we wrap it up.
Yeah, my concluding statement. Thank you very much for having me here. We remain unbending, we remain unyielding, we remain uncompromising, and you know, our own side is the side of the masses. What the Liberian people want is what will be implemented under our leadership and under our jurisdiction. At this juncture, I am not affiliating with any political party because of my own personal reasons. But right now, I think Liberia deserves better. Liberia has actually been deceived for so long with political opportunists. So thank you very much, Mr. Zion.
All right, that's the voice of the host, a political host, talk show host, Strong FM ambassador, Angel Malema Morris from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you so much, and folks, again, let's.
You see this man in this picture. His name is Julius Selu Malema, CIC of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Today, I celebrate my mentor, my coach, and my inspiration. You know, Julius Malema has actually inspired me greatly. He has inspired me so much. Because in Africa, people believe that women cannot be revolutionary women. And in spite of our gender, they believe that we will always be trampled upon and the voices of the men will always be above our voices. So I said to myself, how can I uniquely be a woman that will be able to lay impact? Regardless of my profession, journalism, I have been able to follow the footstep of Julius Selu Malema, and I can bet Liberians that I will change the dynamics of politics in this country.
I will change the dynamics of politics in this country. We are not taking call. We are already wrapping up. That's the voice of Ambassador Angel Malema Morris. Is a radio political talk show host, political commentator, Strong FM, straight to the point here, my guest. And that's what we want to do. We have to reach out to people. We are not going to be selective that we want to go to the elite. They are talents, they are new generations we have to showcase them because it's all about Liberia. I want to be right back here this evening with the second segment of All Things Considered with our political analysts, contributors. We're going to be discussing a wide range of issues. Don't forget, this Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on the dot, here in the USA, and 4 o'clock in Liberia, the first editions of Crossfire on LPR TV will be airing live. My first guest this Saturday will be Kenneth Yabawolo Best of the Daily Observers, though he's an icon in the media industry in Liberia. We are trying to change the dynamics of the communication to take it to the people so that they will know and distinguish from the innuendos, the soundbite, the political conspiracy, the makeup. People are struggling because they just do not know where to get the authentic information. So we need to distinguish between entertainment, news, and public relations. Those are three different separate stuff, but unfortunately they are all being blended by some other folks, and they have been serving our people with breakfast and dinner. It is time to undo and break that chain. Until then, folks, I want to thank you so much. If that's your first time joining us here on LPR, we want to say please make it your home network here. We are looking for female commentators, contributors, and analysts as well, not just on the men who want to make it proportional. So if you know that you want to form part of our talking point here to bring you live on our screen, video, via video, female, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. You're in Liberia, you're in Baghdad, you're in Kuwait, whatever you are, let us know. Reach out to us, and we have the ability to bring you here so that, because you know what? No one has monopoly or dominion over Liberia. The issue, Liberia is a sovereign country, and all of us collectively, we can discuss the issue. We must just keep it proportional. We must be civil. We must respect one another's views. We must be able to persuade one another. And that's how it is. And this is the saddest thing. The opposition, the government, they all does the same thing. They are unable to set their boundaries. So they also throw out the red meat there. And they live in the electorates in Liberia just absolutely confused. They don't know where to go because they are not The government easily to get the bait of the opposition. The oppositions easily get the bait of the government. If I were advising the opposition, but this time, it is time to set your agenda, to start talking about how you can do it differently. It doesn't matter whatever shoe George Weah or Nathaniel McGee is wearing. It doesn't matter. It means nothing. Complete bullcrap. That's not what's going to put food on the Liberian people table. You need to start having start driving your policy as to how you're going to put food on the Liberian people, how you're going to downsize government, how you're going to make sure that you're going to bring good accountability. But when you take 32 hours of your time, George, we are not doing this, Samuel, we are not doing that. What time do you have on hand to talk about your political leader or to talk about your party's agenda? Put your house in order. That's what you're supposed to be doing. ANC people don't want to see Unity Party people. Unity Party people don't want to see ANC. Alexander Kume can't be president. Joseph Boyka can't be president. Benana Ure can't be president. Jesus Christ. And believe me, all of these people, they are looking for state powers to also enrich themselves. And I agree with all, because I've said this. It is all about themselves. CDC brought, whatever Sabu unit or whatever brigade, ANC, CPP decided to bring Solidarity Brigade because they also want to have a youth who will potentially be the managing director of the National Port Authority. So you are following the pattern. There is a consistency. There's a pattern. What the CDC did is what you are doing. So you don't need to do that, because when you start doing that, some of us who are free thinker will say, wait a minute, it is a red flag. So you need to do it differently to set you apart, to make you a distinct organization or institution that is preserved for state power. CDC doing SAO, you opposition, you're doing SAO. CDC wearing red bearer, you're wearing blue bearer. CDC wearing blue, you're wearing khaki. So what is the difference? And these leaders call themselves political leaders. They do not even have the guts to stand up to their people. And you see, they have their talk shows, they have their people who talking for them. They are unable to even articulate the agenda of the institutions that they represent or that profess to love. And you take 1 hour, 2 hours of your broadcast on George Weah. George Weah folks to take 2 hours of their broadcast on either Cummins, Boyka, and all of that, instead of telling what their parties, the ideologies of their political institution. We are in a double serious crisis. The opposition, they are just unable as the CDC to govern, to lead Liberia. If you give them state power today, hell going to break loose in Liberia. Because why? They are all greedy. It's all about themselves. They're going to be a serious fight. Everybody wants to go to NPA to be the either Bill Twari. Everybody want to go to LPRC and all of that. They can even manage it here. They didn't set an example during the senatorial race. Cummins could not contain. That's what happens when you are part of an institution and you do not pay due. You open your door. You act like President Tubman, open door policy. Anybody who wants to come in, they come in. Anybody who wants to come out, they come out. You are unable to stand up to the tax of your people, because if you talk, they will come back at you, or because of political correctness. This is what killing Liberia. So you are not doing it differently. You're doing the same thing what CDC is doing. And you think you're going to change the narrative? Of course, certainly not. It's 2:57 Eastern Standard Time. Join me, John Pajoy, John Professor Asese Labozalo, the liberal progressive Samson Branto, and we're going to be right here. Until then, have a pleasant afternoon.